In this class, we will understand our third loop structure, which is do-while loop structure. In our previous class, we have discussed the concept of while loop structure. So there are some similarities. So both the while loop and do-while loops will work in the same way with a small difference. So the name do while itself is stating that first execute and then compare. So we will understand that concept very clearly. So what is the difference between a while loop and the do while loop is, in the do while loop, the body of the loop will get executed first. And after executing the body of the loop, we are going to do the comparison. And whereas in the case of while loop, first we are going to compare the condition and then the body of the loop will get executed. If the comparison evaluates to be true, if the condition evaluates to be true, then we are going to execute the body of the while loop. But in the do while loop, first the body of the loop will get executed. Once the body of the loop gets executed, then we are going to compare, do the conditional check. If the condition happens to be true, then we are going to iterate, we are going to execute the body of the loop again and again and again until the condition happens to be false. So that is the use of do while loop. So we'll try to understand this concept by using an example. So before that, you need to understand, what you need to understand is the body of the do while loop will get executed at least once. Whereas in the case of while loop, there are some cases where the body of the loop will not get executed at least once. Okay, so what we will do is we will try to understand the concept by using an example. Before that, the syntax. So this is where the do while loop, this is the part of the program where the do while loop has been written. So this is the keyword, do is the keyword, and it comes along with these parentheses, curly braces. Now within these curly braces, the body of the loop will exist. Now after these curly braces, we have to provide the while statement. And now in this while statement, the condition will be checked, and very important point is, don't forget to write this semicolon. In our previous two loops where we have discussed about the for loop and the while loop, there we haven't used any semicolon after the statement, after the for statement or the while statement. But in case of do while statement, we have to end it with a semicolon. The while statement has to be, we have to end it with a semicolon. And very important point is, the body of this while loop is going to come first. Now first this body will get executed and after that the condition will be checked. Means the body of the loop will get executed at least once in the case of do while loop. Okay. Now we will understand this concept by using an example. So what is the example that we have taken where there is a need for us to execute the body of the loop once, at least once, before doing the conditional check? So that example I have taken. Here the example is this program is going to count the number of digits in the given number. For example, so what this program is, first we will understand the logic. So how this will get the logic behind this program. We will understand the problem statement. So the problem is, for example, if the user has given 1, 2, 3, this is the number that the user has given. Now your program, the program is going to count the number of digits. How many digits are there? 3 digits are there. So the outcome is going to print that there are 3 digits. So this is the outcome of the program. So how this can be counted by the program is, so given number, let's assume that n is equal to 1, 2, 3. What we have to do is we have to divide this n. So here the logic is n is equal to n divided by 10. So what does this mean is, so every time we are going to iterate our loop, this value will be divided, the value of n will be divided by 10 and the result is going to be stored in the again in the n itself. So what does that mean is, first what we are going to do is, in the first iteration, 1, 2, 3 is divided by 10. Now what is the result of this? 1, 2, 3 divided by 10 is 12.3. Because this is an integer, so we are going to, this value n is an integer, this 1.3, that decimal part will not be considered, only the integer part will be considered by your compiler. So make a note of this, because and we have previously understood this concept in a detailed way in our one of the lab programs. So what I mean to say is, because the value of n is an integer, so 1, 2, 3 divided by 10, which is going to produce an outcome of 12.3. Because the value of n is an integer, so it is going to consider only the integer part. That is the way the compiler works, and this value will get stored in the value of n. Previously it is 1, 2, 3, now it has become 12. Now what is the value of so now what we are going to do is, once this is done, so we are going to check whether the value of n is greater than 0 or not. So here the value of n is greater than 0. Now what we are going to do is, the new value is again divided by 10. So it is going to produce an outcome of 1, 1.2. Now this one will be discarded, the logic that we have explained. So now the new value of n is 1. Now this one will again be divided by 10, now which is going to produce an outcome of 0. Once the result of the division, once the value of n becomes 0, so 1 by 10, it is going to be 0, 0.1, no, it is going to become a 0. So now the value of n is 0. Once the value of n is equal to 0, then the loop is going to stop its iteration. But every time what it is going to do is, so every time it is going to count the digit value. So digit is equal to 0, we are going to take digit is equal to 1, digit is equal to 2, and digit is equal to 3. So by the end of the program, we are going to get the number of digits is equal to 3. So let's go on to this program and let's discuss. So here digits is equal to 0. Initially I have taken a variable by name digits, and the number of digits are 0 because we haven't counted it again till now, and we have taken a variable to store the number that is given by the user. So here we are asking the user to enter non-negative numbers. So every time he has to give any number from 0 to infinity, positive infinity. Now scanf, we are going to scan, and first what we are going to do is, we have to check first. We are going to do the body of the loop will get executed. Here let's assume that if he has given 1, 2, 3, now n is equal to 1, 2, 3 by 10. Now the new value of, initially the value of n is equal to 1, 2, 3. Now the new value of n will become 12. So 1, 2, 3 by 10. So this one is going to be 12.3. So this one will get discarded, and the new value of n will become 12, and digit will be incremented. Now what is the value of digit? Previously it is 0, now it has become 1. Okay, now we are going to check. So this is where the concept of do while comes into action. First the body has been executed, now the comparison. Now what is the new value of n, which is 12? Is the value of 12 greater than 0? Yes, it is greater than 0. Now the body of the loop will get executed again. Now with the new value of n, which is 12 by 10, the new value is going to be 1. So 12 by 10 is equal to 1.2. This one will get discarded. So the new value of n is equal to 1. Now digits will be incremented. So the number of digits will become 2. And now we are going to compare 1 greater than 0. Is it true? Yes, it is true. So again the body of the loop will get executed. Now 1 by 10. So here the new value of n is equal to, so whenever 1 by 10 will get executed, it is 0.1. This one will get discarded. So the final value, the division value of 1 by 10 is going to produce an outcome of 0. Okay, so the new value of n is 0. Okay, so now what we have to do? So again, so the digits, the count of digits will get incremented. So 1 divided by 0, so the count will get incremented. Again we are going to compare the value of n greater than 0. Is it greater? No, it is equal to 0. So as it is equal to 0, so we are going to come out of this loop and we are going to print this. Okay, so this is how the do while loop is going to help us. And why can't we do it with while loop? So let's see that also. So I've taken the same example with while loop. Now what is that we are going to miss here is, for example, if the user has given a non-negative number as 0, the value of n is equal to 0. Now what happens with this while loop is 0 greater than 0. Is it true? No, it is not true. But the given number is having one digit. So that is the reason why. So here the do while loop is helping us to execute the body of the loop once, at least once, and then do the comparison. So for example, if you take the same example, the value of n is equal to 0, and now if you do the same with the do while loop, now what happens is 0, let's assume that the value of n is equal to 0. So the new value of n is equal to 0 by 10, which is again is equal to 0. Now the digits will get incremented. The value of digit, initially it is 0, now it has been incremented to 1. Now we are going to compare 0 greater than 0. Is it true? No, it is not true. But we got the digit count as 1. Whereas in the case of while loop, we didn't get that. Try to understand that. So whereas in the case of this while loop, we have come out of this while loop without incrementing the digit to 1. Because 0 is also having a digit. So it is a single digit that has to be counted, which was not done by using this while loop example. Okay, so that is the use of do while loop. All you need to understand is the body of the loop will get executed at least once if we use this do while loop. Whereas in the while, the comparison is done first. If the condition evaluates to be true, then the body will get executed, or else we are going to come out of the loop. There are some advantages, there are some use cases where we need to execute the body of the loop first and then do the comparison. So in those cases, there is a need, this do while loop can be used. So this is all about the concept of do while loop. Hope you got the concept in a detailed way.